The 2023 MLB All-Star ballot is officially live, and you guys have been spamming me to get this done, so without further ado, we're not going to waste any more time. Let's get into the first ballot that we're going to have. I say it like that because this is not going to be our final ballot. We will come out with an updated ballot right before the All-Star game because these guys have about a month to change their stats, whether that's for the better or for the worse. Now, guys, do me a quick favor. When you're voting, make sure you filter by OPS because that's kind of the best indication as to who the best player is, at least offensively, right? All right, let's go ahead and start with the starting first baseman in the American League. Right now, I'm going to give it to Yandy Diaz. I don't have any questions about that. But let's say I was a biased Yankees fan. If I wanted to give it to someone else, you can make an argument that Ryan Noda, a rookie for a terrible team in the A's, deserves an all-star spot because he almost has a 400 on base percentage. He's one of the best in baseball right now at taking walks. Maybe you're someone like me who appreciates Josh Naylor, who put the team on his back multiple times. So you're going to give him the edge because he was clutch when it mattered most. But for me, there's no competition. Yandy Diaz is the guy. He almost has a 1,000 OPS with 12 home runs and a near 320 batting average at the time of this recording. He's got my vote. And if we go on over to the National League, shout out to Lamont Wade Jr., who is having a nice bounce back season. Goldie is still doing Goldie things. Matt Olson has a bunch of home runs. Same with Pete Alonso. Spencer Steer, I mean, he's one of the best hitters in baseball right now, and he's a rookie. But I got to give it to Freddie Freeman. The dude, yet again, might win MVP. He's been that good. But if we're going to talk about MVPs, make sure you stick around to Ronald Acuna Jr. because he's my favorite in the NL. I'm spoiling right now. Who is going to be my starting second baseman? So for filtering by OPS, technically it should be Jose Altuve, but he just came back. He's not going to be my guy. I'm going to give a lot of praise to guys like Zach McKinstry, who is coming out of nowhere. He's playing great defense. He's got 4 home runs. Even someone like Whit Merrifield, who is having a bounce back season, a bunch of extra base hits. He's got 16 or 17 stolen bases. But right now, the leader in F4, tied with Wander Franco, Marcus Semien. At the time of this recording, he has a 25-game hit streak. He has 50 RBIs as a second baseman. He's also one of the better defenders in baseball, no matter the position. So Marcus Semien, that is an easy pick for me at second base. The National League is going to be a whole lot tougher because we're going to have to decide between a lot of guys that are having huge seasons like Thairo Estrada. He's got 6 home runs, which is not as much as someone like Nolan Gorman, but Thairo Estrada is a stolen base god. Nolan Gorman has been absolutely out of his mind when it comes to runners in scoring position and just being clutch for the St. Louis Cardinals. Ozzie Albies almost has 15 home runs before the break as an infielder. But for me, I got to give it to Luis Ariz. If you are leading the National League second basemen in OPS while only having 1 single home run, you got to be my pick. He's hitting 401 on the season. We have not seen someone hit 401 in a season since Ted Williams. I'm not saying that Luis Ariz is going to get that done, but if anyone's going to do it, it's that guy. All right, we are moving on over to third basemen. Now, for me, if you would have asked me a couple weeks ago who's going to be my pick in the AL, I would have given it to Matt Chapman, no questions asked, but Josh Young, the dude has been an absolute savage in the batter's box. No, I'm not making any Aaron Boone jokes or anything like that, but Josh Young, almost 40 RBIs. He's a rookie with 12 home runs. He's batting .292 with pretty good defense over at the hot corner. I love Matt Chapman. He's having a bounce back season after not being the best in 2022. He was still good, but Josh Young, for me, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but it's kind of an easy pick. Third base in the National League might cause the most controversy of any position in this entire video because I love what JD Davis has been doing. He has been a menace to society ever since he got traded from the Mets. Max Muncy, he's got a bunch of home runs and an 845 OPS, even though he's only hitting 204. Austin Riley, he's starting to get it going as well. Ryan McMahon had one really good week. Aside from that, he's been a little bit iffy. Jamir Candelario, look at him. He's got almost 800 OPS. He's playing great defense as well. Wisdom, Arenado, a bunch of big names like Cabrian Hayes, even though he hasn't really lived up to the expectations that we had for him, at least offensively. Manny Machado is down at the bottom because he missed some time. For me, again, I'm trying to think about this as I'm talking. I'm pretty much stalling right now. I still think my pick is going to be Nolan Arenado, and that is no disrespect to the other guys that we talked about, including JD Davis. If JD Davis keeps this up, he's going to be my pick in the final ballot. But for right now, I got to give it to Arenado. Also, I mean, 760 OPS. JD Davis has 9 home runs. Dude, Max Muncy's got 18 home runs. You know what? I'm going to come back to third base in the NL because I need to think about that. I'm just going to say this right now. Bobby Witt Jr. is having the weirdest start to his season I think I've ever seen because he's got 10 home runs and almost 20 stolen bases. He's been ultra productive, but also he sucks at getting on base and he strikes out way too much. I'm not going to vote for him. For me, it's between Corey Seager and Bo Bichette. And also, Wander Franco, who is tied with Marcus Semien right now in F4. Wander Franco's got 7 home runs. He's got 20-plus stolen bases. I mean, he's hitting .309. It's so tough because he's playing that platinum defense as well. I got to give it to Bo Bichette, and this pains me to say it because Wander Franco has been an absolute demon, both in the batter's box, defensively, on the base pass. Bo Bichette has been an MVP type of offensive player, so that's why I'm going to give it to him, and he is playing a little bit better defense as well, so I'm going to tip my cap. But if Wander Franco, if he sneaks in my final ballot, like if I go Wander Franco in a few weeks, I'm not going to be upset about not voting for Bo Bichette. But for me today, I'm going to give it to Bo because Bo knows. And also, Bo Bichette is not too far behind in terms of the WAR. He's like 0.4 away from Wander Franco and Marcus Semien, so I'm cool with giving it to Bo right now. Shortstop in the National League. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but if I was going to be a biased fanboy, I would give it to Matt McLain right now because I have a bunch of his Bowman cards. I've been collecting them forever, but I'm not going to vote for him right now because he's only played in a handful of games. He did set the record for most hits, like 30 base hits through something. He set a record. I'll put it up right now. Dansby Swanson has been really good. I got to give a lot of props to him. He is earning every penny of that contract. Offensively, he's been pretty good. Defensively, he's been amazing. But for me, my pick has got to be Geraldo Perdomo, and the biggest reason why he has been one of the best players in baseball, not only defensively, but with runners in scoring position. Call me crazy for really putting a lot of weight into being clutch, but I think that's a massive stat to have on your side. When you're great defensively, you're good on the bases, you're clutch when it matters the most, and you're almost hitting 285 with an almost 860 OPS. Yeah, you're going to get my vote. I'm sorry to all the other guys, but he's my guy right now. Geraldo Perdomo, don't forget that name. Oh, this next pick is going to be really tough because Adley Rutschman is starting to come around with the batting average, but I think the pick is staring right at us. Jonah Heim and that long hair. I believe he just got a haircut, but Jonah, he's been really good defensively. He's got a 293 batting average with 7 home runs, 46 RBIs as a backstop. I know that Adley is going to be the on-base guy. He's also a defensive wizard. He's a leader on that team, even though it's only his second season. Salvi, he's got the pop. The defense is not going to be there. So Jonah Heim, he's going to be my AL catcher in the National League. Massive respect to what Will Smith has done. Shout out to Elias Diaz, who not only has been one of the best players on the Rockies, but in the entire National League. As much as I want to give it to him because he deserves some votes, I got to give it to Sean Murphy. The dude's hitting 290 basically. He's been a defensive god behind the dish. He has a 935 OPS. Let's just go ahead and round it up to something that's, more fun than saying 933 OPS. 40 RBIs. It's got to be Sean Murphy. Cry about it. I am so sad that Aaron Judge just went down with that toe injury, but even in the limited action that he got, I mean, he only missed 10 games or something like that, but Aaron Judge, nah, he's not. Is he going to be playing? I mean, I think that he's going to be fine by the All-Star game, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a vote for Aaron Judge. Yordan Alvarez is considered an outfielder. Is Michael Brantley back and healthy? I don't know about that, but Ezekiel Duran has been absolutely insane. Masataka Yoshida, Josh Lowe. I mean, Mike Trout's only hitting 266, but he's still got 13 bombs. Randy's been really good. Oh, man, Luis Robert Jr., dude. Oh, man, this is going to be so tough. I'll have to come back and finish the outfield in the AL because, I mean, there are so many good names. Josh Lowe of the Tampa Bay Rays. He's also someone I would throw a vote to. I'm going to give one vote to Josh Lowe. I think that he has absolutely deserved it. So we have Judge, Josh Lowe, and then do I go with Masataka Yoshida because he's been an offensive juggernaut? I'm going to give it to Yordan. So I'm going to go Judge, Yordan, and Josh Lowe. And I'm not too confident about that because, I mean, if I wanted to go, instead of Josh Lowe, I could go Adolis Garcia. Do I do that? You know what? I think that Adolis has meant a little bit more because the Rays as an offense has been really good. I mean, Jose Siri, Randy, I mean, there are a lot of Rays on one page. I'm going to give it to Adolis, but then again, the Rangers have a really good offense as well. I'm confident in Judge and Alvarez, and then, dude, do I go Mike Trout? Kevin Kiermaier has been pretty good. Austin Hayes has been amazing. Luis Robert Jr. has been a defensive wizard out there in center field. I almost want to go Luis Robert. No, I'm going to give it to Adolis. Adolis, he's been keeping up offensively. He's been pretty good defensively as well. I'm sorry, Josh Lowe. I'm a collector of Josh Lowe cards, so that one pains me. National League outfielders, I got Ronald, I got Corbin Carroll, because Corbin has been, I mean, all over the place. Do I go Lourdes? I mean, we all know that Lourdes is not the best defensively. But man, Mookie Betts has been really good. He's been a whole lot better defensively. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he's hitting 310. So for right now, it's honestly between Lourdes and Mookie Betts for me. Juan Soto, he's coming around. He's been a whole lot better as of late. Nick Castellanos, shout out to him as well. 315 batting average. TJ Friedel has been a beast. I'm going to go Ronald, Corbin, and Mookie Betts. I'm going to give it to Mookie just ahead of Juan Soto and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. This is a really, really good ballot. There are so many amazing players in baseball this year. Shohei Ohtani, I think that he has the edge over everyone in the DH department. So Shohei Ohtani, as much as I love Jake Berger, he's got beef with baseballs. Brent Roker, he's slowing down, but I'm going to give it to Shohei. Also, shout out to Harold Ramirez, who has an 840 OPS, almost hitting 300, but Shohei, he's my guy. The DH spot in the National League, I got to give it to JD Martinez. It probably was going to be Christopher Morel, but he has really come back down to earth, not in a terrible way. Does anyone else deserve? I mean, Jorge Soler has 17 home runs. JD Martinez, he's hitting 277 with a 950 OPS. That's my National League DH pick. So now I got to go back up to the third base spot in the NL. Am I going to go JD Davis? Am I going to go Nolan Arenado? Okay, I'm going to break out the defense real quick. Here's JD Davis. He has a 134 WRC plus, a 1.5 defense rating, and a 1.5 WAR basically. And then when we compare him to Nolan Arenado, JD Davis has him beat in WRC plus, defense, and WAR. I gotta give it to JD Davis. And just for my sanity, I want to see what Max Muncy is doing. He's got a 127 WRC plus, a negative 1.7 defensive, yeah, 1.4 WAR. You know what? I think I'm comfortable giving it right now to JD Davis. He's been really good. I mean, that's the nerdy side of me coming out and breaking out the different parts of his game. He's got the batting average, he's got the OPS, he's got the home runs, he's got better defense than both of the guys that we mentioned. I'm cool with that. Now remember, these picks are subject to change. Nolan Arenado, he's been pretty good offensively. He had a home run against the Rangers a few days ago, so maybe he replaces JD Davis. Maybe Juan Soto keeps on raking and he replaces Corbin Carroll or Mookie Betts. On the left side, in terms of the American League, Adolis Garcia, maybe Josh Lowe breaks out even more, or Mike Trout has an amazing last month. I have no problem with changing out picks. This is not my final ballot, and you guys got to remember that.